What an odd day. Let me see. What went on? Got up this morning. I trained a number of horses today that I've been waiting to go with that I haven't been able to go with. I've watched them on the drone videos and they didn't look like they were operating properly. So I wanted to go with them today. We have the qualifiers and schoolers. I'll tell you about them. Nothing serious. I went with, who did we go with today? I went with Desperado today. He was very good. I went with 3 or 4. All 3 were very, very good. I was happy with what I saw. No real changes to be made. I think just maybe waking them up a little bit and getting them, getting them doing their work. I think what happens is when some of the people go with the horses, a lot of the times they'll get used to them, but the horses will get used to them also. And where the horses generally will make a mistake, some of the riders, nobody wants to go out there and have a horse make a break on them, so they try to baby them through the turns. And sometimes what happens is either the horse is a little self-conscious and ends up making a break anyway, or they cheat a little bit on them and make a little break. And one horse in particular is Desperado. We did make a few little changes with his bridle, put a head pole on him, and I let him whistle through the turns today. He was very, very good. I was happy with him. And then I always get this filly's name wrong, the Father Patrick filly. You'll know who I'm talking about. Mark Isbell always goes there. Anyway, she was making the odd break and getting out of gear, and it's really bugging me now. And, I let her roll right along today. We went a decent mile. Not so much that maybe Saturday's training mile might be too much for her, but enough that she got the hint today, and she's going to end up, I would say, training very well on Saturday. I also went with Frilly Fringes, who was very good. I go with Frilly Fringes and Won My Heart Hanover all the time because Amy takes care of those horses, and I'll go with them. She takes care of White Tiger too for Harry, and anybody can usually jog Tiger. Just keep them very quiet on the outside of the track. So that's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, very, very happy with the way those horses went today. And then in regards to the qualifiers, we get over here and it snowed. So you'd say to yourself, there might be a little snow on the track. There was, but I don't like, we always talk about, the track wasn't good today, and I'll get a lot of questions, the track should be good, you guys are paying to rent stalls there and the track should be good. Well, you can't always have it perfect. And when you have this weather, the way it is, what happens is +5 in the afternoon with the sun, track turns to a swamp. Then you get -2, 3 in the afternoon into the evening. If you don't get on it at the exact right time, what happens is it falls apart. So it doesn't fall apart. You rip it up, and then it freezes, and now it's a mess. So it's very difficult. If you go on it too early, it's a mess. And then if you go on it too late, you can dig it all night. You're not going to dig into anything. It's like digging on concrete. So there's that happy medium, and it's hard sometimes. But when we come to Mohawk, it just seems like these guys, they just can't get it right. They rather than just screen the snow in, which they were going to condition it in anyway, just screen it. They dug the track up when it wasn't quite cold. Now it's -6, so maybe they didn't want to wait till after the qualifiers. Okay, fine, but they had it that thick. I'll tell you how thick they had it. I had Johan into school today. No, I warmed him up. I came off the track and I said to Jason, take the harness off him. I didn't wait 6.5, 7 months to ruin this horse today. So we took the harness off Johan, and he did not school today. Probably school, I guess, when I'm gone away, I suppose. But we did have some qualifiers, and it seemed like all of them wore flip-flops. I'm looking at the list. All of them wear flip-flops. Rose Run Versatile, Sebastian U, Bottle of Red, Watch Avenue, all wear flip-flops. Flip-flops are great shoes. People say, why do you want to wear flip-flops on horses in the winter? Because they're a great shoe. And even in a track where you have to wear corks, as long as it's not glib ice or deep, flip-flops are great. When the track's hard, they're great. Even when the track's got a little frozen, but not that glib ice, as I said, a lot of horses really like them and pace or trot well in them. Now, you may say they can slip a bit, they interfere a little bit more, maybe they don't go fast enough in them. That's possible. That argument it's valid with some horses, but it's definitely valid on a day like today. If you watch the qualifier, I'm climbing over the horse in front of me with Bottle of Red. I moved her over, and she should have just trounced the horse in front of her. She rolled by, and you could see she was tired going under the wire. She's just like pulling a dead body behind you. It feels like they just run out of steam. Sebastian Yu around the last turn, I was like, he's in with horses that are racing, like aged horses, exemplars in there. The alpha horse racing in the 15 claimers in there. These are battle-tested horses, and they're struggling. So I went to move him out in the last turn to get on the right line a bit, and he was struggling a bit, and he was fighting with the hobbles, and he just got tired out. He ended up going a mile and 2.2 with the track off 2 seconds, but he needs another schooler. They all did today. And then Watch Avenue, you can see it again. There's another horse, flip-flops on, and a big long hobble, and it was literally, you know, for those of you out there, if you plant corn, if you can get these guys, I'll tell you what, this tracker, if you can get them for a couple of days a week in your fields, who knows? Could be a windfall. It seemed deep. It seemed really deep. It'll be good for tonight because when it gets really cold, I see it's -6 right now. When it gets really cold, that track will tighten up hard. But I think they just cut it a little too early. And between that and the wind, they gave it 2 seconds. They could have given it more. I mean, as I said to James like, oh, you know, it's okay. And I said, it's not okay. You know, when you want to see horses qualify good, you know, they didn't have to go going 55. But Bottle of Red was ready to go mile 56 on a good track. Why couldn't we just have a sunny day with no wind and a nice surface? But instead, we ended up with a windy day and a bad surface. So, Bottle of Red was very good, especially I think when you look at I didn't see all the qualifiers, but I saw Watch Avenue coming down the lane, and he didn't want no more. You know, 59-3. This horse ready to pace 57 right now, 56 in a qualifier, both him and Bottle of Red. And they got to 59-3. So Rose Run Versatile went a mile and 2.3. She was probably ready. I was more careful because we took the hobbles off her. So we'll school her next week. We'll school Rose Run Versatile. I think we'll school Sebastian Yu again next week. And Bottle of Red, I know Kevin said, you know, it's been 4 weeks in a row, and I hate leaving them tired on the track. Why don't we give her, and I know he's going to ask me about Watch Avenue also, so I may as well just say them both. Why don't we give them both, skip a week, race them the following week? Okay, fine. So Rose Run Versatile will school next week again. Sebastian Yu will school again. I can almost guarantee you both Bottle of Red and Watch Avenue won't race until 2 weeks from tonight. 2 weeks from tonight they'll both race. And then we got to the schoolers. The track was starting to tighten up a bit, but it was still deep. And again, Zeb Sunshine didn't have flip-flops on, but Hometown Boys did. Stonebridge Simba didn't, but he had mushroom shoes on, so bar shoes, same type of deal. Emerald Miss, we just took them off her, and Miss Mischief Maker had trotting shoes on. So Emerald Miss was much better, 2 minutes and 3/5 off a half and 2 and a bit. She's going to qualify next week, I suspect. We'll see who Kevin gets to go with her. I'm gone away next week, but obviously reachable. As I said, I'm a little embarrassed. I hate leaving. One, I hate leaving Amy here, but we couldn't get anybody to babysit Adeline. You know, she's just a baby, and she's better now around strangers, but she has been timid, and last thing Amy wants to do, you know what it's like if you're out there and you're a woman or even a man and had a baby, you're always concerned, and Amy would be concerned the whole time we were gone. So, it's just the way it worked out. I ended up taking my father away, so that's good and bad. It'll be great for about 2 days, probably kill each other after the third day. One of us will be in jail for the rest of the trip. There you go. So Miss Mischief Maker, Emerald Miss, I don't know who will qualify her next week, Travis, Jody, whoever, it doesn't matter. She was good today. Zeb Sunshine, he'll probably qualify him next week. He was pretty good. James said a few little equipment changes with his mouth. He was running it. When he's running in, he's no good. So take the line pull off the outside. I believe. And Miss Mischief Maker was good again. As I said, we get over the half and 4 and a bit, 1 mile and 2, 2 and 4. She was very good. Stonebridge Simba 1 mile and 2, 1 and 4, last half 58. Now James had one in there and I had one in there. So Roger Mayotte was the only guy standing there. Not that I certainly wouldn't ask Roger. I just kind of put him on the spot. You know, Roger got smashed up last year and probably wants to keep to himself and drive mostly his own, I would think. And I kind of put him on the spot. I'm like, hey, can you go with this horse? He's right here. And he's like, yeah, is he okay? And I'm like, yeah, he's good. He said he steered very, very good. Wasn't on a line like we've seen in the past. So I think we'll qualify him next week. I'd like to see a mile and 58, 59 out of him. Again, if the track conditions and the weather is permitting. And then Hometown Boys. Mark Treffy will be perking up to hear his name. Hometown Boys, 1 mile and 2.4 off a half and 5. Last half in 59 seconds. Did it well, but Kevin wants to school him twice more minimum. He's a big colt. Even Mark and Michelle, who haven't seen him in a while, you'll be surprised how big this horse is now. He's bigger than Cruising in Style, I think. I think right now. And almost as long, but definitely bigger and heavier. So so that was it. You know, I was hoping we'd have a huge, great day, like Bottle of Red 57, and, you know, all the trotters went good, but instead we got a day full of deep track and flip-flops. And Versatile was okay. Sebastian Yu got a little tired. Bottle of Red, again, a little tired, and Watch Avenue a little tired. But they all got qualified and all did their work as well as they could. Then Emerald Miss finally starting to see some life. See her come back to herself today. Zeb Sunshine finished up right behind me. We were pacing on the end of it, so he was good also. Miss Mischief Maker trotted good. She's going to be in the qualify next week. Stonebridge Simba will be in the qualify next week. I suspect you probably should put Roger back on Simba to qualify. So Simba will be into qualify next week, and Hometown Boys will need at least a couple more weeks of schoolers. But everybody stayed on gate. Everybody did their job as best they could. As you can see, I'm just leaving Mohawk Raceway at 6:13. I got to sign in about an hour, but I told Amy I'd swing back home. I think she had to go to the store. So, turn these off. No, can't turn those off. Jeepers. That's how it's getting dark, eh? So that's the qualifiers today. They all got qualified. Nobody wowed anybody today. But trust me, I know what Bottle of Red is capable of doing. I saw it last week. She paced her last half in 56 and a piece, a mile, and 58 last week. So I'm certainly not concerned with Bottle of Red. Watch Avenue again's got to grow into that giant 60-inch hobble that Kevin has on him. That's perfectly fine. Rosa and Versatile was okay, but I was careful with her because she was her first mile behind a gate. I'll school her last week. She ran last week. First flat mile behind a gate without hobbles on. I was happy with her today. I thought she did her work well. And then Sebastian Yu from the rail. I was a little timid with him anyway. I didn't know how things would go. Overall, I think he qualified well. We're going to draw blood on him, make sure that his blood work looks okay, and scope him, make sure he's okay, ready to go. Probably due for a vet check, and then it'll be qualifying as soon as I get back. So it's 6:15 right now. I'm going to head home quickly. That is your qualifying report. Saturday we will be training. It looks like the weather will be good, except it's going to get brutally cold tonight and then warm back up. So hopefully the track is good on Saturday. I hope it is. But we'll see. So a good day today with the few that I went with. I was very happy with them. Who did we take over here Wednesday and train? Oh, Rooney Blue Chip. Rooney Blue Chip trained great at Mohawk on Wednesday. And Rooney Blue Chip trained good. Just for Me and You trained good. And Nancy Allison trained well also. A ton of horses getting close in qualifying. That's the point. So I got to come back for I'll Play It Alone tonight. Tomorrow we get Excellent Nation and our Vika. And then on Monday, day before I leave, a couple of real good shots. White Tiger with the 7-hole. That's okay. And then we have Forged in Fire making his Mohawk debut. Deservedly so after his crushing victory. So I'm heading home. That's your qualifying report for the week of February the 14th. Take care.